Hello everyone, welcome back to yet another video, and today we are reviewing the Volcano Serene series smartwatch. And without wasting any further time, the watch is $5.99 and you can find it at Game, and you can also find it on Take a Lot. I'm sure you can find it at other stores, but those are the two main stores which I know. So let's talk about the physical aspects of the watch. So the watch has silicone straps which are removable. So if you ever want to get straps of a different color, you can always remove the ones which came with the watch and buy different ones, which I think is incredible. And on the back of the watch, there is a heart rate monitor which you can use to check if your heart rate is normal or if it's not normal. And on the front of the watch, on the screen, there is a small button which you're going to use to navigate the watch. And the way in which that small touch screen button works is that when you click it once, it takes you to the next thing. And if you click and hold it, it enters on that thing. It clicks on that thing. I hope I make sense. And the only disadvantage about the button is that, let's say for example, heart rate is on the second menu and you pass it by mistake and you go to the third thing. You can't simply go back to heart rate. You have to go back to number 4, number 5, number 1 again in order for you to return to number 2, which I think is, it's not a big issue, but it's just something which inconveniences me. So yeah, now that I've talked about the physical aspects of the watch, let's talk about the actual features or the software of the watch, which I think that's the reason why most people are here. So when you turn on the watch on for the very first time, the first thing you will see is the home screen, which shows the time. And the home screen has two different themes to choose from. So you'll just choose whatever theme works for you. And on the next screen or on the next menu, it's the heart rate monitor, which I spoke about previously, to monitor your heart rate, to check if it's blah blah blah, all those things. And on the third screen, it's different sports mode. And the first one I think is indoor running, swimming, climbing, and cycling. So yeah, and for me personally, I am a runner, so I always use indoor running. So even though it's called indoor running, I always run outdoors and it works perfectly fine. So I don't really know why they call it indoor running. On the fourth screen is a sleep monitor, and for me personally, I don't really use it. And I've always been curious, like, how does a watch know that you're sleeping? I'm seriously curious, guys. How does a watch know that you're sleeping? So this thing on your hand, actually knows that you're sleeping. Like, how does that work? Like, even for people who monitor their sleep, like, why are you monitoring your sleep? Like, when I sleep, I just know that I'm asleep. I will wake up the next day. I don't care. I don't understand like the logic behind monitoring your sleep. As long as I wake up the next day, for me, I'm fine. I don't care about all those things. Monitoring your sleep, if you snore, if you don't snore. So, I don't know, guys. I think I'm moving away from the topic of the actual watch. So, yeah, let's just move away from that thing. Moving on to the fifth screen or the fifth menu, depending on what you call it. This is where you get your notifications / messages. So you get your messages in the form of SMS messages which you receive from other people, and you get your messages and your notifications from apps such as Facebook, Messenger, Instagram, WhatsApp, and a bunch of other apps. But in order for you to receive these notifications, you have to download the Volcano app from the Play Store or the App Store, depending on which phone you are using. And also you get notified when you receive a call. The only unfortunate part is that you cannot respond to the call. You can only get notified when you are receiving a call, but you can't answer that call. The same goes with messages. You can only see WhatsApp messages which you are receiving, but you cannot reply to them using your phone. So that's the unfortunate part. But I think this can be useful if maybe, let's say, you are in a meeting or you are in a classroom whereby you don't want to be that rude guy who always takes out their phone. You can just check your watch and see if those messages require for you to reply to them now, or if you can just reply to them later. The next thing after the messages slash notification screen is the weather. This is where you'll see your weather, and I don't think I need to explain this one. I think everyone knows what the weather is. So yeah, so I actually made a mistake. The second part of the watch is not the heart rate monitor, but it's actually the steps counter. So the steps counter is the second thing and the heart rate monitor is the third thing. So that's the mistake which I made. So yeah, and moving on to the final part of the watch, which is the more option or the more menu. And there are a lot of things under that menu, so I can't really memorize them, so I wrote them down in order to read to you guys what the more menu contains. So this is where you'll see alarm clocks which you have set, and there's a feature called Find My Phone. So the way in which this feature works is that your phone and your watch have to be connected via Bluetooth, and obviously in close proximity in order for this feature to work. So if your phone and your watch are not connected, this feature won't work. So it's a very useful feature if you can't find your phone and your watch and your phone are connected via Bluetooth. You can easily find your phone, it will beep, and it will be much more easier for you to find your phone. So yeah, and after that there's a stopwatch. I don't need to explain that. And after that is something called sedentary. I don't really know what it's about, so I'll just skip through it. And after that, it's a camera. So when you open the camera on your phone, when you press on camera on your phone, it actually opens a camera on the Volkano app, and you can use your watch as a shutter button to take pictures, and I think that's cool. So yeah, and after that is something called about, where they tell you about the model of the watch, all those boring things. And after that is reset, restart, power off, all those boring things which are I don't need to explain. So yeah, and yeah, that's it. And the watch charges for 3 hours and has a 10 hours standby time. So that's all I needed to say about the watch, and I hope you guys find the video useful. And my final thoughts about the watch is that the watch is very cool, but the features on this watch are not very, they're not very cool. So let me explain what I mean. So I actually need that to back. Okay, so let me explain what I mean. So some of the features of the watch are step counter. Most smartphones come with a step counter these days. And the next one, sports mode for exercising. For me, I'm a runner. I actually use the Nike Run Club app, so this is not really useful. Notifications, I think notifications are very useful to receive on your watch. And after that, stopwatch. Like, I have a stopwatch on my phone, so most features of this watch are not that much useful. But if you are getting into the smartwatch world, I think this is a very safe option, but don't expect too much from it. So yeah, that's it for today's video, guys. I hope you found it useful, and if you like this video, please consider subscribing to my channel, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.